crazy Russian hacker, where safety is #1 priority.
Our supplies for the project included a copper rod to melt down a pipe for ventilation, sand, and plaster of Paris. We used plaster of Paris instead of cement because the plaster of Paris is porous, so it will not explode when heated. We mixed the plaster of Paris, sand, and water together and let it sit to solidify.
It's been about an hour, and the cement's still soft, but we can pull stuff out. So we're going to pull out the bucket, and then we're going to make a hole on the side, and then that gives us an air vent, so we can now stick a metal tube inside, and then that'll allow us to get ventilation for this furnace.
This is the completed furnace. A blow dryer is attached to the pipe for ventilation and to give it more air. This is the furnace when on. You can see the sparks flying out of it, which are actually little pieces of the charcoal flying out on fire. The furnace should get up to 2000 degrees, which is above the melting point for copper, which we will be melting in the next step. In our first attempt, we could not get the crucible completely submerged in the fire. Therefore, it did not get hot enough to melt the metal. When we tested without the crucible, we found that the temperatures were high enough to melt both the copper and the aluminum. But because the crucible did not conduct heat well enough, the aluminum and copper could not melt while they were in the crucible. We therefore could not collect the metal, and it was just laying on the bottom of the furnace. During our second attempt, we accidentally chipped off a large chunk of the side of the crucible. This actually turned out to be a good thing because the crucible could fit into the furnace and be surrounded on all sides by the charcoal. Once we did this, we were able to actually melt the aluminum and collect it in the crucible.
The metal in our crucible has now melted, and it's very hot, so I'm going to be really careful when I grab these with my bare hands, right? Ow, this hurts a lot, alright? Then we're going to pour it into this mold, right? And in that mold, the metal will melt the styrofoam, but also replace the styrofoam. And that sand, the aquarium sand, is so fine that it will actually hold its place, and the metal will replace the shape of the styrofoam in which we got. Wow! Oh, it looks like our stuff is done. Didn't turn out to be the exact shape that we wanted, but it still melted and created some cool, nifty shapes.
Show everyone the shapes.
I'm checking styrofoam.
We got a beautiful coaster.
Which we know the name of.
Chunk 1. Chunk Junior. And some really disgusting styrofoam. And a variety of other tinfoil, which you can buy from us for $10.99 per centimeter.
We melted tinfoil into molten aluminum, and then a lot of it turned into tinfoil. So our master plan is to start a company where we melt tinfoil, create tinfoil with it, and sell it at 3 times the price.
Yay!
We tried to use the copper, but we couldn't get it to melt while it was in the crucible. We also tried to use the special steel cans, but they melted. It appears that they were not. That's our furnace.
It still works.
And, let's show them. Since it got so hot, the crucible got a little bit destroyed, but it worked this time, so it was definitely a plus.